All right, guys. All right. We are going to be putting multiplication notes in your journal. So if you will go to your table of contents, there we go. All right, in your table of contents, we are going to put ways to say. And I am not going to finish that sentence. We will do that on the notes. So turn to your next clean page. So my kids have done the place value and rounding. So turn to your next page. Okay, on our title line, we are going to write the same thing. Ways to say. Okay, then we're going to make a T-chart. So about the third line, I'm going to draw a straight line across. And then down the middle, I'm going to draw a straight line all the way down. Okay, so I've made a T-chart on my page. I'm going to label one side multiplication. Okay, so let's talk about the different ways we say multiplication. The way you guys see it all the time is 5 times with the little time symbol 3. That's the way you're most used to saying it. However, 5th grade gets super tricky. So you got to know all these ways to say it. So let's look. One way you'll see it, and it's really going to throw you off, instead of our times sign, we're going to have a little dot. If you see a dot, it's kind of up in the air. It's not as low as a period. That also means multiplication. Then later on in the year, we see 5, and you may have heard this through your teachers before. If it's in parentheses, if you have any two numbers next to each other and one of them is in parentheses, you know it means multiplication. So right now we have 5 times 3, 5 times 3, 5 times 3. I say them the exact same way. They are just represented in different ways. I can also say 5 by 3. You think of that in an array model, 5 by 3. Or 5 groups of 3. 5 groups of 3. Because we say 5 times 3, but this multiplication sign really stands for groups of. We could say the product, bringing in that vocabulary word, the product of 5 and 3. That's another way to say it because product is the answer in multiplication. You could say 5 rows of 3, thinking of an array model also. Or you could say 3 repeated. How many times? 5 times. 5 times. Because multiplication is repeated addition. So we can think of 3 repeated 5 times. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Okay, so those are all the different ways we can represent or say multiplication. I would say that these 3 are going to be the most important. You will see the dot and the parentheses a whole lot this year, so you need to become super familiar with it. And we are going to save this side for next week, so don't do anything on this side. Just the one side is all you need. Next, we're going to go back to our table of contents, and we are going to write 3 times, let's put by, 3 by 2 multiplication. Okay. Oh, forgot my N. 3 by 2 multiplication. Okay, so you've put 3 by 2 multiplication. Now on this page, you're going to flip the page. So we're starting on a brand new page. You will have this handout and you're going to glue it in. Okay, so glue this in your journal. Okay, let's fill this in. So we're talking about multiplication where we have 3 digits in the top factor and 2 digits in the bottom factor. You guys are only used to 2 digits in the top factor and 2 digits in the bottom. So we're going to go through the steps of doing 3 by 2. First, it's going to start out the same. You're going to multiply the ones place or the ones digit in the bottom in the bottom factor by all the digits in the top. So I'm going to go 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. I'm going to carry that tens place. 4 times 5 is 20, plus my 1 is 21. Done, right? In the top factor. Oops. Okay, so that's my first step. There are more steps. So second, you're going to put the placeholder. You're going to put your placeholder 0 in the ones place under the first product. Because if we talk about partial products, this is our first partial product. So I'm just going to fill this in over here. So now I'm going to do step 2. I'm going to put that 0 placeholder underneath. That's my second step. Okay, now step 3. Multiply the tens digit in the bottom factor by all the digits in the top factor. Okay, so I'm going to go fill in what I already wrote. Okay, now I'm ready to do step 3. This is what you guys have not talked about before. You have, but just not to that hundreds place value. So I put my 0 placeholder. Now 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 5 is 5. Now I have my first partial product and my second partial product. Now moving to step 4, I'm going to add the 2, guess it? Oh, you guessed correctly, partial products. So if I go fill in all my steps, if I fill in my 2 partial products that I had already solved, and I add my partial products together, then 8 plus 0 is 8, 2 plus 2 is 4, 1 plus 3 is 4, 2 plus 5 is 7. So my product is 7,448. It is the same exact steps as if there were no digit right there. It's the same process as 2 digit by 2 digit. You're just taking that extra step and multiplying it to one more place value. All right, now you guys should be experts in 3 digit by 2 digit multiplication, right? All right. Have a great day.